What's up, you guys? Slim here on my boy Sam's channel to bring you guys another deck profile. This time I've got an updated Super Quantum, aka the Power Rangers deck list for the August 29th ban list. This is a deck that I really love. I know a lot of people are a fan of this deck. You know, it is the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. They've given this deck so many hits over the last couple lists. When it was originally at full power, when Calvin won, it was ARG Richmond. It was crazy how powerful the deck was. Magnus was such an amazing card. In every list, they seem to keep hitting us. They hit E-Telly this time, so I had to put in a new card for the deck. But another reason I'm profiling this deck is we found out we're getting new Super Quantum support. I'm sure Sam will have a link down below to the new card that's coming out, so maybe there's a chance that the deck will get more support in the future, but I just wanted to show this to you guys. It's a really fun deck to play. I really enjoy it, and I just hope you guys like it too. So let's get into the list right now for Super Quantums for the August 29th ban list. So we're going to start with 3 of the Super Quantal Fairy Alphin. For everyone that doesn't know, this is the card that's basically like a better tin can. Basically, you reveal 3 different Super Quantum, so you reveal 1 Red Ranger, 1 Blue Ranger, 1 Green Ranger. You know, your opponent selects one. One of them, you special, whatever one they select, you special something. The other 2 go to the graveyard. The great thing about these guys, they'll have graveyard effects. This one can also manipulate levels. I don't use that effect that much, but you're able to manipulate levels and make all monsters the same as 1 Super Quantum on the field, so that's pretty cool. But this is arguably probably like the best card in the deck because it gets your entire engine rolling. Like opening this and other cards is how you get to Magnus super fast. So card's really good. Then we've got, of course, the 3 copies of Red Ranger, the 3 copies of Blue Ranger, and I run only 2 copies of Green Ranger. So Red Ranger, you guys know, everyone's been seeing Super Quantum Red Layer for a long time. Cyber Dragon basically can recur cards from the graveyard. When it hits, you know, it has 2 effects. If it's sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 Super Quantum except itself, special summon it. It cannot activate its effects, but basically, like if this goes to grave, you can bring back one of these guys, and then you're able to, you know, use the field or use, you know, your other plays to, you know, get to your main Zords and then get to your to Magnus. So Red Layer is really good. It's also a beat stick of the deck. Blue Layer, of course, is our Stratos. You know, they did hit E-Telly to 1, but, you know, we're still going to play 3 because, you know, it can search any card in the deck, so really important. Making this like your extra normal summon in the deck is fantastic. Just being able to, you know, continue on, net more cards is awesome. And, of course, you know, it'll make it so you never deck out. That's what's awesome, too. And then I only ran 2 copies of Green Layer because it can get a little cloggy at 3. I have tested 3 before. I like 2 a lot better. It is the Marauding Captain, being able to go Green Layer. You know, you can literally open special Super Quantum Red Layer, normal summon Green Layer, and then if you have Blue Layer in hand, off of this effect you can bring out Blue Layer, so you can have all 3 like turn 1, which is just crazy. And I mean, their XYZs by themselves are awesome, so I think this was the right ratio. I really like them. I really like all their effects. The Marauding Captain effect. This one also has an effect that if it goes to the graveyard, you can discard 1 Super Quant card from your hand, and then you can draw a card. So that's pretty cool too. So you can draw cards off of it. So that's it for the Super Quantums. Then for the support cards, for the engine cards, I decided to go with 3 Volcanic Shell. A lot of people have tested Thunder Dragon, Volcanic Shell. There's a lot of different ways you can do it. I feel Volcanic Shell is the most consistent because you're able to add these basically at will and use them for the field card, Twin Twisters, any card you really need to use them for. And I really like it's kind of like an artillery that you have. Being able to, you know, just pay 500, add a card to your hand, and then being able to, you know, Twin Twister away problematic cards, being able to use it for the field card. It just really gets in there and it really does help, so you're not discarding valuable cards in the deck to resolve like the combos you're trying to get off. So I really like it. Right now, this is what I'm testing. I tested Thunder Dragon. Thunder Dragon is fine. The problem is, though, they don't like is discarding it. You draw like 2 cards that, you know, unless, you know, you're discarding them like this, they don't really have any purpose. And the difference with this is you can choose when you want to do this. So I really like this a lot better. Plus they're alti, so they look pretty cool. And then for the last 2 monsters, we have the 2 Garnet. We are playing Brilliant Fusion. You have to play Brilliant Fusion in this deck because you need the extra normal summon to get the combos off, and then the 1 Trick Clown that goes with the Brilliant Fusion because it can help you make your rank 4 super quick. So that's it for the monsters. I believe it's 17 monsters. Then on to the spells. We are playing 3 Brilliant Fusion. I'm glad they didn't hit this, because especially for this deck more so than any other deck. Your extra normal summon is extremely important in this deck because it basically can guarantee you Magnus. A lot of times, like if you open Brilliant, I believe it's if you open Brilliant, a way to special summon blue layer and like instant fusion or something, or the field card, you basically have it. Of course, you draw Soul Charge, of course, you have Magnus, but Brilliant Fusion really gets you there, being able to bring out Seraphonite, and of course, having red layer going first. Like if you go red layer, then Brilliant Fusion, you automatically have your rank 5 since Seraphonite's a 5, so I think it adds a lot of power to the deck. And with that, more combo cards are adding 3 instant fusion. We play Norden and we play Panzer Dragon, so card's really important. Maxing out on it though, even if though we only are going to resolve 2, we need to see the card. The card really helps us get to a turn 1 Magnus. And I changed things up a little bit. I decided this time to play 3 Terraforming and only 2 copies of the field card. Now people will wonder why. I have tested 3 copies of the field card, and in the past it's been okay, but I've noticed that a lot of times, like as much as you want it, Terraforming is a lot better because you're able to search it at will. And what I like about having Terraforming in the deck is that I do not have to rely on blue layer as much to search this card. If blue layer is searching another card, it makes it more consistent to open with Magnus. So that's the reason behind that. So that's pretty much like all the main like combo cards for the deck. And then for the rest of the stuff, we have 2 Twin Twisters. The format is still being established. We know that Burning Abyss and Blue Eyes are going to be decks. So Twin Twisters at 2 is a good number because it can deal with the problematic Demise decks or any other decks that pop up in this format. Twin Twisters is live most of the time because of our ability to use it with Volcanic Shell and other cards we run in the deck. So I really like it as a 2 of. I think it's solid and takes care of problematic back row if it comes up. Then for the 1-ofs, of course, 1 Soul Charge. You know, you draw this, you pretty much win. Pretty much guaranteed Magnus. 1 Raigeki, board wipe, really good against Blue Eyes. Get all their stuff off the board and then, you know, bring Magnus out or have Magnus out, Raigeki them, you know, set them back. Just really good board wipe. 1 Reasoning. We have so many different levels in this deck. They're never going to call it right, and even if they do, you have graveyard effects, so Reasoning is just amazing in the deck. I mean, we used to have 3 copies of this because the card was so nuts in the deck. We also used to have 3 copies of this, but now it's at 1 thanks to the list. So 1 E-Telly, our only target's blue layer. Blue layer is so important in the deck, so we got to play it. And then a 1 Upstart, 39 cards. Then for the trap lineup, I didn't really beef up the trap lineup. I had 1 more trap, but I'm playing 3 Strike, 1 Warning, and 1 Emptiness. Now the reason behind playing these traps is I feel Strike's going to be really, really solid in this format because you know, Pendulums are not completely dead. If people think Pendulums are dead, they're wrong. Just overall, just good card. Good against Blue Eyes, good against everything. Like Solemn Strike is basically, it's like you're running 4 warnings. Like it's very, very critical to get problematic monsters off the board. And then the 1 Emptiness because it's a floodgate that locks out, you know, completely locks out Blue Eyes and Burning Abyss. So I think these cards are necessary. I feel that this trap lineup is perfect. I wouldn't change anything in it. So yeah, so that's it for the deck. It's 40 cards. I really like how the deck's been flowing. I've been testing it. As soon as the list dropped, I basically just made the change of changing the 1 emergency teleport for Emptiness. I wasn't playing Emptiness last format, but I played Emptiness this time because honestly, if you have Magnus and Emptiness, it's game no matter what. So I think it's pretty cool. So just on to the extra deck real quick. Of course, the King, Great Magnus. Card's insane. If you guys don't know, if it has 2 or more materials once per turn, you can detach, and then you can spin 1 card on the field to the deck. It doesn't target that card. That's amazing. It's how you out like pretty much anything that might get in your way. 4 or more, it's unaffected by cards except Super Quantum cards, so it becomes the Towers. And 6 or more, it's a one-sided mistake. They can't add cards from their hand except by drawing. So yeah, this card is insane. 3,600 attack. It's the Megazord. The card's awesome. Then we got 1 Gem Knight Seraphonite for the Brilliant Fusion, extra normal summon, super important. 1 Norden and 1 Panzer Dragon for your instant fusion. Helps you get to the rank 4s, help you get to the rank 5s. If for some reason this comes out and something happens, you can still pop a card, so I like it. That's it for the fusions. Then we have the main Zords. We have 2 of the Magna Liger, 2 of Ouroboros, and 2 Grampulse. So 2 red Zord, 2 green Zord, 2 blue Zord. These cards are amazing by themselves. Like outside of Magnus, these cards are just so versatile. Being able to destroy monsters, being able to book a moon, and being able to MST cards is just fantastic. 2,800 defense, 2,400 defense, 2,600 attack. These cards are great. When playing the deck, I've noticed you're not always going to open Magnus. The math is not on your side, you know, every single game to open Magnus, but you can, you know, end your board with like 2 of these guys, and I mean, you're in a really solid position. Back that up with a Solemn or whatnot, and you really have control of the game. I really like these cards in general. These are like some of my favorite XYZs that ever came out because I feel they're so versatile, they're generic, and when you have their when you have their respective super quantum under them, you can do them during your opponent's turn. That's insane. Being able to play on your opponent's turn, it's like a trap monster. So I think it's fantastic. So you have to play 2 of each. I feel that that's necessary, especially to get to Magnus. And then for the XYZ, I'm playing 1 Gaia Charger. I wasn't playing this before and I regretted it. A lot of times if you bring this back off of red layer, it has no materials, it can't attack. Well, you can then just do this, and then you have some piercing damage and a beat stick. So I put that in there. Another card I'm looking to try if I can find in the room is Volcasaurus, because obviously Volcasaurus this is game, so it's pretty crazy. But then on to the rank 4s. I'm still running the 1 Dweller and the 1 Castel. I feel they're the most versatile rank 4s in the game. Obviously, Burning Abyss, Mermails, anything graveyard related. Castel gets rid of problematic face-up cards. Can just spin away cards, you can win the game. This might be the only card that I would cut to play Volcasaurus. You guys can try that if you want. I think it's just solid in general. And then for the last 2 cards, I'm running the Utopia Brothers because you can't beat 5,000. This card is insane. Utopia is great by itself, but then going into Utopia, the Lightning is just fantastic. 5,000, it's pretty much game at that point. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile. If you did, please smash that like button for Sam. Helping him out with all these deck profiles, sending him some lists. I think that, it's just great that, we can highlight a lot of decks in this format. I feel that these decks, they're not dead. They can still be played if you actually put in the time to play them. A lot of people, I don't think everybody even knows about Super Quantums. I don't think they pay attention to like every deck that comes out, but I think this is just a great deck overall because it's able to, pump out a very powerful card in Magnus. It's able to play very versatile XYZs and the Zords, and it's just really fun to play. I mean, you could not tell me you wouldn't have fun playing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers at an event. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know. Please be sure to check out my channel, Simply Slim YGO, for more deck profiles and more weekly Yu-Gi-Oh content, and please support my brother Sam. He's on his way, man. He's going to be the best there is. That's all I'm going to say. He's on his way. So I hope you guys will support him and support me, and we'll just keep bringing great content to you guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up, and thank you for watching.